views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Hello, welcome to our latest edition of Let's Talk Football with Rick and Jack. I'm Rick, he's Jack. You didn't know Jack this week on football.
No, 7-7.
7-7.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Did you hear that, listeners? Oh my God, I think I was 11-3. I don't want to talk much about it because that's 2 weeks in a row that we talk about coins and making money. And I think last week you said if you'd done a 9-team parlay with me, you would have won whatever you would have won, depending upon what you bet. But last week was a pretty good week for me, and you know it was an average week for you. But the NFL's tough. What's the trends that you're seeing that are standing out to you? What's catching your eye in the NFL right now? At least we're playing games and no cancellations, and there's COVID, and you know they're getting well and taking the tests, and it's great that we're playing NFL. It's not like college football, I'll tell you that. And it's great to have NFL every week. It really is, and we haven't had any games canceled. But what's sticking out in your mind this week in the NFL? What'd you see?
The carousel at the quarterback position throughout the NFL, throughout the teams. You know,
injuries, man.
This week, Drew Brees got injured, and then Teddy Bridgewater last week again in.
Foles is hurt now.
Yes, Foles got hurt too. So that's three starting quarterbacks this week. Last week.
And the kid in
San Francisco.
Well, yeah, he's been out. And the kid in
Washington.
Yeah, we got Alex Smith, the quarterback now.
Yeah, for the last.
Which I love. What did he throw? 56 passes, 400 and something yards. Good for Alex Smith. I hope he gets comeback player of the year. It's going to be him, Cam, or Ben. Who's going to get it?
Big Ben.
Big Ben. You know, Cam looked good the other night, man.
Yeah, the other night.
I love Cam Newton.
But how are you going to? How were you going to put him in a discussion in Washington when it's 2 weeks now?
I mean, the guy was out for 2 years. Come on, I give it to him just for putting a uniform back on. Alex Smith, the man. I mean, that guy almost lost his leg.
Are you giving away participation trophies?
Hey,
come on now.
He looked good, didn't he?
He did look good, but you don't.
The guy didn't play for 2 years. Come on. Alex Smith, keep going, Alex. You're going to be a comeback player of the year.
I'm rooting for him.
Don't give it to Cam or Ben. Give it to Alex Smith. That is a heartwarming story, man. Hey, that's a great story. And I mean, he's not some bum. What his name? Ron Rivera said he's his starting quarterback now. Let's go, Alex Smith. I know Washington's not very good, but I love you. Anyways, a lot of the quarterbacks. The kid in Denver got hurt too. He hurt his ribs real bad. They're not broken, and he was playing in pain the other day. That poor kid. Again, NFL. I was telling somebody the other day. So you want to be a quarterback in the NFL? Woo!
Hey,
they're going to hurt you.
It's one of the 32 most coveted positions in sports. So,
of course. I would love to have it. But for me, what stuck out this week is the great play of the rookies. I mean, you look at these rookie receivers, this kid Claypool in Pittsburgh, he's been a game changer, a team changer for them. You look at the kid in Minnesota, Jefferson from LSU, who's playing so well. Some of these young running backs and these linemen, I see so many offensive and defensive linemen, rookies starting, and cornerback, a lot of
making a difference.
Yeah, I just have been really impressed by how many first-year players, particularly with COVID and not as much training camp and just not the preseason games, so many of these rookies have come into the league and are just playing good ball, particularly receivers. It's just, a lot of them. Waddle is playing so well out of Alabama. Judy, also out of Alabama. This kid Jefferson from LSU, and nobody's doing what Claypool's doing. The kid's unbelievable, that kid from Notre Dame. He's a rookie. He's the best receiver, and they got Juju Smith. Claypool is a go-to guy for Ben.
So that just shows you like how, for some reason, it's like the haves and the have-nots, where Pittsburgh, they just find a way to have these great receivers rotating. Remember when it was from the era of Hines Ward all the way coming to now, it's like they've had good receivers there.
How about Lynn Swann? Before Hines.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, they have had great receivers. Even Antonio Brown was pretty good there. he looked decent this week in Tampa. They're getting the coordination together.
Yeah.
You know, Brady's
but
up and down.
When it comes to him,
Tampa
I just
Bay's
wait.
up and down. Yeah, it's, you know, but, you know, NFL's getting fun right now. You know, we're getting into the last part of the season, and, you know, the last 7 games, all the top teams really, you know, they get going, man. It's time to play. It's time to get to the playoffs, and there's extra playoff spots this year. So, you know, teams are playing hard, and, you know, you look at some of the improvement. I was so impressed by the way that New England played this week and put it to Baltimore. Again, I told somebody if it hadn't been raining like that, Baltimore probably would have won that game. But, you know, New England did what they had to do to get the points on the board and win that game. Cam looked good. The team looks good. I like what New England's doing. Don't you?
Yeah, you saw that defense that was supposed to be on the team. That defense actually showed up. I was quite surprised because I actually picked Baltimore to win that game. Just the fact the way they run the ball, not only do they have a quarterback that can run, he can also throw the ball, so that gives him that dual threat. But they actually have a good running back too. So
yeah.
It was just it was surprising for me, and I was disappointed on my end because I picked them to win and they didn't. But you know, on to the next for me because those are millionaires playing a kid's game. So
tough game in Baltimore with all. I mean, that rain in New England was crazy. I don't know if you watched the game. I mean,
yes, no, that
you could hardly see the game as a viewer.
That last
it
drive,
was raining so hard.
When they panned up the view on the lights, like, oh my gosh, and then they go back to the field, and it's like almost the same where how hard it was raining.
Unbelievable.
But New England did what they were supposed to do, and they came out of there winners.
Well, it's the time of year where weather conditions are going to affect games. You know, in these games in Cleveland and Kansas City and places like New England and Baltimore and Washington, the weather is going to affect the games, and that's what's great about football. Let's face it. These stadiums that aren't indoor stadiums, you know, where they got 72 degrees and it's all perfect, you know, but...
Are you talking about here in Vegas?
Yeah, exactly. Allegiant Stadium. We got a pretty good game this week, huh? Kansas City versus our Las Vegas Raiders.
But do you know that...
Woo! Who's the only team? Who's the only team? You all know. Well, who's the only team that's beaten Kansas City? Is it going to be twice in one season?
Well, we're actually... Vegas is actually 3-0 in their division. Are they going to be 4-0 this week?
No, absolutely not. And by the way, Kansas City has some linemen out with tests. They're waiting for the negative test to be able to play. So they've got 3 or 4 linemen out, Kansas City, right now, waiting for the negative test to come back. Because one guy got it and got tested positive, and the other ones have been around him. They've been on quarantine also. So that could affect the game. But I don't know if you know a little bit of controversy there. I don't know if you heard about this. That when the Raiders, and some of you fans may know this, when the Raiders beat Kansas City in Kansas City,
what do you do after a victory?
They took a victory lap in the bus. And Andy Reid said, that's not our style. We don't do things like that here in Kansas City. We don't act like amateurs. We act like professionals. Well, what do you think they're talking about in Kansas City locker room? You think they talked about that?
A little bit.
You think they talked about that?
Nah, but you can't focus on that.
Hey.
You didn't win the game.
Raiders,
you're focused on that.
Raiders, you playing great ball. Great football. It's over,
guess what?
baby.
In order to prevent that, what you do is you beat them.
Who's going to beat who?
No, Kansas City should have beat them, so they wouldn't have to worry about that victory lap.
It's NFL. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like we saw Arizona beat. Woo! What a game. How did Arizona beat Buffalo? Last second. DeAndre Hopkins, who we've said all year long here is the best receiver in the NFL. I stick to that, by the way, best receiver in the NFL. If you watch all our shows, keep watching our shows. I mean, every week. I had 11 winners out of 14 games last week. 11 winners. Hopefully you bet them. Keep watching this show, sharing with your friends, liking it, thumbs up. Joining the station, WWDBTV. These people should be watching our show, man.
Yeah, well, if they bet with you, they'll have
I know you watch
extra
all the
discretionary coins.
2 weeks in a row.
Hey, you need some Christmas money.
I can't get Thursday Night Football right, but geez. Again this week. Tennessee, wow, they look terrible. Anyways, we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to come back and discuss the games this week and see what we like, what we don't like, the trends we're seeing, who's going to win what this week. It's getting critical now. You got to win games. You got to win games. If you're going to be one of the playoff guys, you got to win games right now. So this is a fun time of the year in the NFL. A lot of fun things happening. I could talk about NFL all day long, but we're going to take a quick break, pay some bills. We'll be right back at you, and look forward to seeing our picks for the week. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jay Schrader, former NFL quarterback with the Redskins and Raiders, and I want to tell you about an organization that I recently got involved with, sgc-foundation.org. It's an organization, we go around, we raise money for children's hospitals and kids with autism or any other disabilities, things like that, all around the country. I'd love to have you a part of it, so check us out. Check out the website, sgc-foundation.org.
Hello, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us through the commercial break. We're looking forward to giving out some winners this week. Last week, pretty good week, 11-3. I won't talk about my friend's week, but 7-7. 7-7, it means you got money for the next week. If you went 7-7 and they bet all those games, then that means that they didn't lose any money.
I didn't lose.
But if you went with me, 11-3, again, I told you last week you had enough money to play the rest of the year. Now you really have enough money to play the rest of the year. And hopefully you're doubling your bets. Hopefully you're doubling your bets. I watch all these shows, other shows out there, and you know, a lot of losses among these incredible prognosticators that are supposed to be so experts making all that money.
Have all these statisticians at their fingertips.
Yeah, and you know, the beautiful studio, and I mean, we got a beautiful studio here. We love our studio, but you know, these guys, they got the big rigs over there, you know. We're driving the minivans and they're driving the big rigs, you know. But this is a good show. Continue to watch it. Please like us. The numbers are growing every week. We get a lot of followers. We have a lot of fun. We make this fun. We want it to be fun for you. And, you know, please share it with your friends. Bet on some of these games. I mean, we're doing real well. And we appreciate the viewing. We appreciate you watching us. We appreciate your input. And thank you very, very much for being part of our audience. And we'll just continue to get better every week, right?
Yes, sir.
You want to go through some games this week?
Yeah, we'll go through some.
What do you want to start with? Thursday night football?
Thursday night football, Arizona against Seattle.
Wow.
Do you think Seattle's going to lose 3 weeks in a row? Was that phenomenal catch a momentum builder for Cardinals?
That's a great question. I think the Cardinals are a team that is continuing to improve. It was a tough loss for Buffalo because Buffalo is one of the elite teams in the NFL. As you know, I believed that from the start. Tough loss. Arizona should have lost that game. And the funny thing is Arizona went ahead and, you know, Buffalo came down and moved that ball right down the field. And they threw the touchdown that they thought that ended the game. I mean, let's face it, we all thought the game was over.
Oh, we all thought it was over until he caught the ball and come down.
And then, you know, the sequence that happened, and again, Kyler Murray was so close to being sacked. And then he's thrown near the sideline. He's got a guy on him. I mean, in a perfect throw, DeAndre Hopkins makes a catch. But to answer your question, I think that the Cardinals are going to stay on a high. I find that Russell Wilson is not playing good football right now. He's made some big mistakes lately. He made a couple more this week through an interception when he should have run the ball. I don't know if you saw the game.
It was wide open.
It was wide open. He could have gone into the end zone. He stops and throws an interception, and I mean a horrible interception, like floated it to the guy. And that's what he's been doing lately.
You think it's too much in the ears?
I think, again, teams watch film in the NFL. They know his trends. They know how he moves in the pocket. They know when he moves left and right. I think they know trends about Seattle, when they're going to pass and when they're going to run. Seattle doesn't have a running game right now. And they're counting on Russell to run and pass. And teams are on to him, and I think he's getting tired. I don't like the trends in Seattle. Now, that being said, we got a division there. The Rams, Seattle, and Arizona are all 6-3, tied in first place. I'm going to take Arizona.
I don't think that he's going to lose three games in a row, so I'm going to go with Seattle.
You're going to go with Seattle?
Yeah.
So you're going to take Seattle and give 3 points to Arizona coming in town. Arizona might be on too big of a high from last Sunday's game. I'm going to go with Arizona. Jack is going to go with Seattle. So -3, and it'll be a good Thursday night game. Enjoy it. We said that about the game last week. Tennessee was horrible. My God.
That was your game of the week, huh?
I was. Don't talk about it.
My game of the week, I won that. That's my only.
What was your game of the week?
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Wow, Minnesota and Chicago.
Yeah.
I took Chicago just to be different. What a bunch of losers. Anyway, let's
But
move
you should have known better. You're just trying to go against me.
I did.
Eagles against the Browns. What do you? It's -3 for the Browns.
Browns all day long. I mean, the Eagles, I just keep thinking they're going to come around. And I've always thought they were well coached. I like their coach. But, I mean, the Eagles, man.
I'm going to go Eagles on this one.
Wow. Okay.
They played some smart football last week.
What was that? After the game? Were they going to drink or what? Where was the smart football by Philadelphia last week?
No, I'm talking about Browns.
The Browns are
instead of
the worst 6-3 team in the NFL.
Yeah, instead of scoring a touchdown, you went out on the the 1
It
yard
cost
line.
89% of the bettors money. That move by Nick Chubb when he running down the sideline at the end of the game would have put him up by 10, and all the Cleveland bettors would have won. He stepped out of bounds. I don't agree with it because I lost coins on the game, but he did the right thing. That's smart football. But I'm definitely going to go with Cleveland. So, boy, first 2 games we differ.
Yeah.
You're going with Seattle and Philly. I'm going with Arizona and Cleveland. Next up.
We got Falcons and Saints with a breezeless Saints.
Breezeless. I like it. No breeze. We got hurricane conditions. No breeze. Hey, we got our man Jameis Winston. Late of the old days in Tampa Bay.
You think he's gonna
Mr. Interception.
You think he's gonna have crab legs after this win, or is it gonna eating crows?
I hope he doesn't steal them. But that was funny, right? Guy with that kind of stealing crab leg.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's an old story, but fun story. I think myself, I think that the Saints are going to be great with Winston. I think Sean Payton is going to do a great job coaching him, and he's going to do really. I think Winston is going to do really well in New Orleans the next several weeks, at least 3. And I'm going to go with the Saints and give the 4.5 to the Falcons. So the Falcons are playing good ball. I like that Falcon team.
I like their
I've been a
offense.
Matt Ryan fan. I really have, and he's got some good receivers.
I like their offense, but I like what New Orleans has.
At home, 4.5.
Yeah. And Winston, I think,
What's the big game from Winston?
it's one of those where, for some reason, when a player first start playing, before the NFL start watching films and tendencies, that rookie wins or they play well, and I think Winston's going to play well this week, enough to give them the win. So I'm going to go Saints too.
Yeah, he's an experienced enough quarterback. He's started enough games in the NFL, and I think he's going to fit that system actually better than Breeze does. I think you're really going to be surprised that New Orleans is going to soar over the next several weeks with him at quarterback. I really do believe that.
Bridgewater did last time when Breeze was
5-0
out. So.
last year. So I think they're going to do well. I'll also take the Saints.
Lions-Panthers.
Excuse me. Wow, 1.5 Panthers favored at home. What a hapless game that is. Whew, ugly.
But I'm actually going to go with the Lions on this
I'm
one,
going with
just
you.
because there's no Bridgewater
I'm
playing.
jumping on that bandwagon with you. 2 weeks in a row, Detroit's going to win. Yeah, so we'll both go Detroit. Carolina's giving them 1.5. That's a good bet. The
Patriots-Texans, I really don't like the way the Texans are playing right now. Let's hope that New England can replicate what they did last week. So I'm going to go with Patriots.
I'm going to go with Patriots 3 weeks in a row, and you're giving up 1 point to Houston. At Houston, that's a little bit chancy, but I think New England's on a roll, and they're going to even up their record at 5-5.
You don't think there's going to be some type of redemption with Houston only scoring 7 points last week?
Houston is just
winning a game, losing a game they should have won.
Houston is just, it's I don't know what the
culture
problems are.
again.
Yeah, culture. Good word.
Steelers-Jags. Steelers for me.
Blowout. Jags again, a team that Doug Marrone, the coach of Jacksonville, has lost that team. That team is playing horrible, horrible football. They got a quarterback in there that is Not NFL quality, I'll tell you that right now. Minshew is out hurt. He's not playing again this week. And not that Minshew is NFL quality, but the guy that got in there is surely not. And that Pittsburgh defense is going to take advantage of Jacksonville. And -10 probably is a little bit light, but, you know, I'm also going to go with Pittsburgh.
I'm going to make that my game. I'm going to make that my game of the week, and
Okay.
I'm going to say,
you know, Jack.
not only is it going to be 10, but I'm going to give them 2 touchdowns.
Jack, game of the week. G-O-W, game of week.
Yes, sir.
14 points they're going to win by.
Yeah,
Okay.
14. I'll give them 14.
I haven't come to my game of the week yet, and, you know, I want to be exact this week because I want to win everything. I want you all to win everything. Okay, next up.
Packers, Colts. I'm going with Packers.
I'm going with Colts. Another one we disagree on. That's 3. I like it. It gives you guys something to think about. Packers, again, I don't like that defense. I think Indianapolis' defense is probably the best in the NFL or close to it. What they did last week, whoa, what they did to Tennessee last week was impressive. I think the Colts have found their rhythm and actually are going to be a playoff team. I like the Colts. Hey, they're tied in first, and they in their division, and I think the Colts are going to continue to roll. I think that's one of the better teams in the NFL. So I'm going to go with the Colts and give that 2.5 points, and you're going to take Green Bay. Okay, sounds fair.
Bengals and Washington football team.
Woo! What an ugly game. Joe Burrow versus Alex Smith.
I actually like Alex Smith this week, so I'm going to go with Washington.
So am I. I like it. 1.5. I think Washington's going to find some life behind Smith at quarterback, and God, I like that guy for what he's done coming back 2 years off. I'm going to go with Washington and Alex Smith to have a big game. We'll give the 1.5, both of us. Okay, fair.
Titans-Ravens.
Big game.
I'm going to go
Redemption for both teams.
Yeah, but I'm going to go
Both
Ravens
redemption.
on this.
Ravens at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ravens.
Tennessee on the road. -6 for the Ravens. I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee. I feel something there. I don't think Baltimore's as good as people think they are. Baltimore plays well at home. -6. I'll take the -6. I think it's a 2 to 3 point game. I'm not saying that the Ravens won't win, but I don't think they'll beat them by 6.
If Tennessee can run the ball, then they'll win, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
Well, you know, they didn't run the ball well last week.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
And I mean, really, I don't know, man. Tennessee looked terrible. I mean, I just think it was one of those weeks.
Both teams played terrible last week, so hopefully, I hope that the Ravens win this week.
They did. Both Baltimore and Tennessee played terrible last week. That's why somebody needs a win here, because somebody's going to have 2 losses in a row.
Yeah.
And neither one of those can afford that.
Not in their
the division they play in.
No way.
You know, Baltimore, they're going to have a tough time, you know, doing it. And, you know, Tennessee is tied up with Indianapolis in the division lead. So I'm going to go with Tennessee. I will take the 6 points.
What about Cowboys-Vikings? Vikings for me?
That's my game of the week. -8. I'm going with the Vikings. Rick, G-O-W, game of week. I'm not going to say they're going to win by 2 touchdowns, but I think the Vikings are going to even their record. They were a 1-5 ball club. You realize they're 4-5 and won 3 in a row now?
Yeah.
The Vikings look good. Dalvin Cook didn't have a big game this week.
No, he didn't, but they
did not.
still. What they did was they kind of like shut out the running game. He wasn't, especially in that first half, he was not as effective. And a couple of bonehead plays in the second half took a couple of his some of his yards back, which it disappointed me as a fantasy guy, you know, to see when that happens. So, but I think that with that dismal team that the Cowboys have, yeah, it's a win.
You know, the thing about it is that Chicago's a decent defense, and they did limit him. And what Minnesota ended up doing is passing the ball to Thielen, had 2 touchdowns, and that kid Jefferson. You know, they got some good receivers in Minnesota.
They do. So this is
for
why
a rookie, that Jefferson from LSU is a good ball player. So Minnesota passes the ball well, and then you got Cook. They didn't have to run this week; they passed.
But this is why at the beginning of the season why I was frustrated with the team, because they have good receivers and they have a good running back and supposed to be a decent paid quarterback.
Yeah.
Plus the defense
Yeah.
was nowhere to be found first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think Minnesota is a team that's going to be reckoned with, and it's going to continue to play good ball. I'm telling you, I'm impressed by them. Though they beat a pretty lousy Chicago team. Chicago plays a good defense. They just have a horrible offense. A horrible offense. They got no running game, no passing game. Chicago's horrible, and they will continue to be horrible because they got nothing there. So they beat it. They didn't beat a good team, but I think, and it was on the road. And I think Minnesota at home in the Dome over there is going to play really good ball, and Dallas is in for a long game. So I'm definitely going to go with Minnesota. You're going Minnesota also?
Yes.
In the 8 points again. That's my game of the week. So your game of the week is Pittsburgh to roll big over Jacksonville. Mine is Minnesota over the Cowboys. So you guys got that right. Games of the week. Those are the ones you put the big money on. Okay. Our games of the week, we generally do pretty good, but this is a good week, I think, to make a lot of money and build that bank for playoffs. Build that bank.
Chiefs, Raiders.
Chiefs and the Raiders.
Do you think Raiders have a right now? If they beat
Raiders are playing great ball.
if they beat the Chiefs, they're going to be
aspects of the game.
4-0 against the division
Yeah.
and be the only team to beat the Chiefs all season long. So they already beat them once. You think they have what it takes to beat them twice?
That all being said, I do want to say to our audience that the Raiders have been playing great ball. They really have, and they look good. They look good the last several weeks, and they're really playing good ball. And I'm happy. I'm happy for the Raider fans in the city.
Oh, here it
I'm
comes.
very happy,
Here it comes.
just
Here
like
it
the
comes.
Golden Knights. But
But here it comes. Go ahead,
you
sir.
know me so well.
Go ahead. What do
He knows me so well. That's why the show is so good.
he's preparing his online
He
shopping
knows me
right
so
now.
well. I'll take Kansas City and I'll give 6.5 points. Next. I'm going Kansas City and giving 6.5 points.
Oh man,
Kansas City in a romp.
I guess you're submitting your online
Sunday
order?
night football. All you Raider fans are going to be down tailgating party at Raider bars. I'm shocked you never invited us to a party. Am I disliked that much in this city because I don't necessarily root for the Raiders?
I'm gonna go Raiders this week.
Raiders!
I'm gonna go Raiders this
You're
week.
going to go Raiders.
Dolphins and
Such
Browns.
a sellout, man.
Such
a
Hey, I
sellout.
like walking around town.
Such a sellout.
Being
Raiders.
able to go out.
You know they're not going to win. You know they're not going to win.
Just like they did the last game.
Don't spend too much money on the Raiders, please. 6.5 is a lot of points, though, and we'll see what happens. Kansas City doesn't lose 2 games in
And
a row
it's a division
to
game.
anybody.
And it's a division game.
To anybody. Alex Holmes will watch out.
All right, Dolphins, Broncos. Dolphins.
Dolphins. The Broncos. The Broncos QB is hurt. Bad ribs. He's questionable whether he's going to play, so I don't know who they're going to put in there this week. I'll have to go with Miami. Miami's playing great ball. What, they won 3 in a row with Tua, right?
Yeah. Surprising, everyone was saying this is unprecedented to have your current quarterback is playing well and you just switch him out with a rookie, unproven rookie, but they know what they were doing and it's working out for them.
It
so
has
far.
worked out. Their plan has worked perfectly, and he gets better every week.
Yeah, I must admit that I wasn't a fan of the
You think
switch.
he's ever going to be a Patrick Mahomes, or
No, it's too.
you think he's ever going to be as good as that guy?
Not necessarily.
You
as
watch
good.
what he's going to do to the Raiders this week. Oh, I don't want to go back to the Raiders and Kansas City. What Patrick Mahomes is going to do. Did you hear that story about Monday Night Football, by the way? When they were calling, the announcers were calling him Pat Mahomes and not
And
Patrick.
Mom-
and Mom dialed in and said, how dare you call my son Pat Mahomes?
His name is
My
Patrick.
son's name is Patrick. Wow, is that leverage?
She said, "Put some respect. Put some
You think
respect
if I
on
called
his name."
and said that, and then, shit, they say, hang up the phone.
Ah man,
Anyways.
Can we skip this one? Jets, Chargers.
At Chargers. Let's just say Chargers at home. Does that say 9?
Yes.
Chargers at home 9. Woo! I'm going to go with the Chargers to have a big game. The Chargers are going to break out against the Jets. Go Chargers! Go Chargers! Go Chargers! Chargers.
If there's a game for the Jets to win,
That's your
I think
team.
it'll be this one.
Won't
but
happen.
The way Herbert is playing right now, I don't think so.
Chargers are going to blow up. They're going to have a big game. There's a team that's going to win by 14 or more. Let me write that. Go with the Chargers this week. And then our last game, it's a good game. Monday night, our last game of the week. Tampa Bay Rams. Tampa Bay giving 3 to the Rams. The Rams look good this week. They looked horrible the week before. The Rams look really good this week. What are you going to do? I mean, this is a tough one.
I like the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
You're going to go with the Bucks?
Yeah,
I'm going to go with the Rams.
You give
take
Bruce
3.
Arians and
It's
you give him an extra day to prep for you. I think he's gonna. I think they're gonna win that.
You know, it's a good game, and I'll tell you what, it's a good game that gives you an indicator towards the playoffs, because these guys could meet again in the playoffs. And these are two, NFC teams, and 2 good NFC teams. The Rams are 6-3, leading their division with 2 other teams. Tampa Bay is, playing good ball. I just think the Rams are going to continue to play well, and Tampa Bay is going to continue to play okay. That's my opinion. So I'll go with the Rams, and you're going to go with the Bucks. Okay, well, we've got 5 differences this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we agree on several of them, but 5 differences. That gives you guys something to think about and who you might want to play. But continue to enjoy our show. Continue to watch our show. Continue to like our show. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Continue to share our show. Join the network here, WWDBTV. Subscribe to the network. We got a lot of great shows besides our football show and our sports show. So continue to watch us. We thank you. It was a good week last week. Put some coins in your bank. Make some money. Make some bets. Make some parlays. And what do you want to say to our great fans to end this show today?
I must give you props for going 11-3 the last couple of weeks.
Well, I humbly thank you.
It goes to show,
Not really
I don't
humbly,
know
but-
Jack. Jack don't know Jack.
Jack don't know Jack. Yeah, I
So-
mean, it's okay. Let's just keep making you guys money and having fun, and let's make these guys some money this week. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you next week. Enjoy the NFL. Watch the games, and good luck to you. Make some money. God bless.